Unrivaled just lost 65% of its audience in a single year. And now the same WNBA players who were threatening to strike are begging to return for their old salaries. This entire empire is collapsing in real time, and I'm going to show you exactly how it fell apart.
Telling you guys there is no interest in pretend basketball. I have been telling you guys for years, as the mainstream media has intentionally lied to us. These elite athletes are amazing! This is the best basketball in the world! Woohoo!
There's simply no audience for pretend basketball. I've warned you for years while the mainstream media kept lying, insisting this was elite talent and the best basketball in the world. But the numbers never lie, and these numbers are brutal. Unrivaled Season 2 debuted on TNT with just 107,000 viewers, compared to 313,000 last year. That's not a decline, that's a straight-up cliff dive. And here's the truth no one wants to say. The only real draw in women's basketball just proved she's irreplaceable.
Season 2 of Unrivaled, opening night. They averaged 107,000 viewers on TNT. That is a 65% decline compared to last year.
Asterisk when Caitlin Clark isn't on the screen, nobody is watching. Not Angel Reese, not Paige Buchers, not Aya Wilson, nobody. Unrivaled is paying Paige Buchers $348,000 to pull in 17,000 viewers. Go ahead, do the math on that business model. I'll wait. TNT poured millions into promoting this league. The mainstream media swore women's basketball was exploding. They pushed the narrative that these elite athletes deserved your money and your attention. But the audience has spoken loudly, and what they said is devastating. We don't want more women's basketball. We want less. Now, here's the truth about why Unrivaled was created. On paper, it was designed to give WNBA players leverage, another option to demand better contracts. Sounds noble, right? Except for one tiny flaw. Your backup plan has to actually work. Unrivaled was supposed to be their ace during negotiations, the league that would catch them if they walked away. Players talked tough about leaving, demanding 30% of gross revenue, refusing to settle. But Unrivaled isn't catching anybody. It's collapsing faster than the WNBA itself. The CBA deadline was supposed to be today, and they're nowhere close. And here's the twist. After months of threatening to strike, after calling the old deal insulting, WNBA players are now considering playing under the exact same CBA they swore they'd never accept. All that tough talk? Gone. Asterisk asterisk.
For months now, WNBA players have publicly claimed that we are standing firm. We are fighting for our right to be overpaid. We are fighting for our right to be compensated with money we have no way of earning.
How do you go from demanding millions to accepting pennies in under 2 months? Simple. You lose your leverage. Every time Unrivaled posts another disastrous rating, WNBA players lose negotiating power. Every time TNT executives look at those numbers and question their investment, their position gets weaker. The NBA offered them 50% of net revenue, money after expenses. More than fair for a league that has lost money for 30 years straight. But the players rejected it. They want 30% of gross revenue before expenses. Under that demand, the league would lose $700 million, more than the WNBA has lost in its entire existence. And here's the crazy part. The league is offering them million-dollar contracts, exactly what they said they wanted. But now, they're so stubborn, so convinced of their own value, they'd rather go back to the old salaries they complained about than accept the deal they asked for. Last time I checked, the electric company doesn't take beliefs as payment. Your landlord doesn't care about your principals when rent is due. And the most brutal truth? The market is doing its job. All the articles about women's basketball exploding. Illusion. All the talk about new stars emerging. Fiction. The growth wasn't real. It was going from nothing to slightly more than nothing while the media pretended it was a revolution. Now think about what playing under the old CBA really means. Players can strike whenever they want. The league has zero motivation to rush negotiations. Why would they? The product on the court is already hurting the brand. Let the players walk, and watch how quickly the world realizes how replaceable they actually are. Here's the truth nobody says out loud. The only thing keeping the WNBA alive is NBA subsidy. Billionaire owners have poured millions into a league that returns nothing but losses and drama. But that patience is nearly gone. And with unrivaled failing this badly, the limits are being tested. Nafisa Collier can talk about sustainability. Brianna Stewart can hype unrivaled as the future. But when your second season loses 65% of its already mediocre audience, the writing is on the wall. TNT can't keep investing in a product that draws fewer viewers than a random midweek baseball game. Yes, the WNBA has longevity, 30 years of losses kept alive by the NBA. But surviving is not thriving. And now, every alternative league is collapsing, exposing the truth. These players should be grateful for what they have, but instead, they demand more from a system already propping them up. Investors keep making the same mistake. They think the product is good, but just needs more marketing. Wrong. The audience has been offered this product repeatedly, and they have rejected it every single time. Paige Buchers is the perfect example of manufactured stardom. She's one of the highest paid players and unrivaled. But 107,000 people watched her debut. That's not a star. That's a marketing campaign wearing a jersey. The Players' Union made a disastrous mistake. They believed Caitlin Clark's success meant the entire league was rising. They thought one generational superstar meant everyone deserved generational money. Reality hit them harder than a Brittany Griner elbow. If the 2026 season runs under the old CBA, watch how fast this solidarity disappears. The same players demanding equity will discover equity means splitting pennies. When beliefs don't pay the mortgage, beliefs get flexible. And here's the big one. The NBA does not need the WNBA. Not for PR, not for politics, not for growth. It's charity, and charity has limits. Players keep acting like they have leverage. They don't. They have the illusion of leverage, and that illusion shatters each time unrivaled hits the air. Media won't say it. They'll keep pretending growth exists. They'll keep calling average players elite. But the ratings don't care. The audience doesn't care. The market doesn't care. Unrivaled's collapse proves women's basketball has a ceiling. And that ceiling is Caitlin Clark. With her, the numbers matter. Without her, the sport collapses back into irrelevance. So here's hats coming. Players accept something close to the old CBA, or they strike and get replaced. Unrivaled shuts down or limps forward until investors realize they're burning money. Media continues lying about growth that doesn't exist. And in a year, we'll be having this exact same conversation. Because nothing has fundamentally changed. The house of cards is falling. The emperor has no clothes. Women's basketball had a golden opportunity in Caitlin Clark. But instead of building around her, they resented her. Instead of capitalizing on real interest, they tried to force fake interest. Now they're learning the simplest truth in economics. You're worth what someone will pay, not what you think you deserve. So tell me in the comments, should WNBA players accept the old deal or strike? Because at this point, I'm not sure which option is more embarrassing.